start from together. We offer the Almighty, who also has the divine name as Artha, his love, his compassion, his forgiveness. We beseech in you to enhance the divine quality, Prapatti, Mokshut, only and only to have the first hand experience of thyself. Okay, let's see if it is getting worse or okay. Max. Okay. Let's see now how it goes. Just trying to get in touch with the technician. Today, by the grace of Almighty, we are on our Divine Discourse, the 10th of September, Krodinama Samvatsara Dakshina Varsharutu Homavasare Anuradha Nakshatra Vishwambhu Vanijakara. On this auspicious day of and the auspicious, we all take Naham Karta, whatever comes to me by accidents, circumstance, be it through a person, place, or an object. I have made myself full that all this is happening as per. I know that he has mastered the game plan. Every moment in my uplift, from time to time, right amount, vairagya, and the right complaining of without an iota of let me just try to reach out. Yeah, because with this kind of a situation, are you able to hear me? Not able to get the text. You want me to try once again, re-log in? Anything better? You are able to hear me? Kalpaprabhavan kama sva sarvana sheshatah मनस्यैवेन्द्रियग्रामं यम्य समन्ततः. Is it better? शनैः शनैः कृपरमे धृतिगृहीतया आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा न कश्चिदपि चिन्तयेत्. Better? I'll just now just tell me I'm trying to wear the mic. If it's better, just let me. Yeah. Okay. Is it better now? Mic. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we start. Yeah. Good evening to all of you once again. Let's see how it goes. Can't really understand what is. To my knowledge, whatever is there is seemingly correct. Okay. I'll go ahead. So now, what we apparently saw was in the verse 24 and 25, Lord Krishna was very clear. He tells you, you have to renounce all desires. Now today our whole focus will be on the mind, because the mind is the only culprit which is coming in between the divine and the human. So I'll be talking of some very special techniques and workable techniques which I have used and I can endorse them. Okay. So renouncing these desires, that much we have to do. Like say if you want good health and you go on eating all nonsense, how will you get good health? So anybody, when you are talking of good health for a proper goal in life, like you are an athlete or you are a boxer or you are an ace football player, they have a diet, they have a lifestyle, they have a practice session, so without which they cannot reach those levels. So here we are talking of the highest level. So when you are looking at such kind of a goal in hand, when your life also has to be reciprocating, same manner, proportionate. So he says, renounce your desires. How do they come? Desires from all sides, sorts of thoughts. So restrict yourself and then also catch hold of all your senses. And these senses attack the mind, cover up the mind. You know, when a soldier is going, says, cover me up. He tells another person, cover me up, because he is on a main task. He says, I don't want to get distracted by the surroundings, so cover me. So here this mind is saying, cover me. Who are the enemies here? The senses. And who are the other enemies? The sense organs, the perceptions, the objects of the world, which are inducing constant thoughts to you. So this way, he says, you have to, after the 24th verse, now 25th verse, he says, Shanai, Shanai, slowly, and don't be in a hurry. You are trying to achieve something extraordinary. And slowly what you do, you practice tranquility. You can't do everything at one go. So practicing tranquility, fixing your mind on that divine, with that steadfastness, to forward. So even if you can see, everything could have been told in one shloka, but the Lord is trying to slowly tell us also. He is not telling us everything at one go. Okay. So now the same concept, he again in a different way he tells, because he wants to make sure that we get it appropriately and we are able to do it. That is it. Okay. So now is it okay? Seems good. Okay, thanks. Okay, now Now we go to the 26th verse. Okay. Now let's see. Yatho yatho nishcharati मनश्चञ्चलमस्थिरम् ततस्ततो नियम्यैतद् आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत्. Here, whenever and wherever the restless mind, we know now mind means restless. It wanders. It goes here, it goes there, it goes here, it goes there. It says, whenever it goes, wherever it goes, said one. That's all in this shloka. Bring it back and focus it on the divine. Now, if you want to say you are burning down something, okay, you have lit a fire. Now, what all you want to burn, you are placing it on the fire so that it burns. Now, imagine if the flame of the fire is going sideways. Like for example, when we are cooking at home, you have the tawa and then you have the flame. It's very hot. You switch on the fan, and then the flame is actually it is oscillating. It's not hitting the pan. So naturally, what happens is the pan doesn't get complete energy, and it is not hot, and your rotis are not coming out well, isn't it? So here you are trying to focus on the Lord, but the mind is oscillating here and there. So you want to bring it back. Here he says, with that intellectual power of the power of discrimination, Eka Shakti, decide that I have got little time in my life. Why am I spending in all these nonsense discussions, nonsense thoughts, nonsense actions? Let me focus my mind. Otherwise, what will happen? You have taken 2 steps forward and you are taking again 3 steps backward. Eventually, you are back only. Or it could be 3 steps forward and 2 steps backward. What, you have covered only 1 step. So, one has to completely focus his energies wherever you get time. I know your past vasanas, they'll spring up and they'll pull you back. You would want to do all what you had done earlier. Sit calm, quiet, and know your goal. And that can happen only when your intellect is convinced. Mind cannot do anything. The faculty of the mind, which is the intellect, now only that can keep. Once it is convinced, then it will bring everything. So, having this thought in mind, God alone is our goal. That realization is my motto in life. So far, I have done everything possible, but now this way, the sadhak focuses. And Lord Krishna very clearly says, this you should be able, you should be prepared that any number of time it goes. You want to learn swimming, let's say, or cycling, singing, all these things, okay? Now, as far as now these particular classes, lessons, let's say you're taking for, now it's more than a year, then again 2, 3, it can even be 10 years, let's say. But if you don't practice, will you ever get closer? Think these, unless you practice, not going to make sense. So every situation of discomfort in our life is only and only to a way for you to test how am I progressing on the path of spirituality. Because that mind being serene, calm, stable is the very purpose. In Vashista Maharishi, he tells Sri Rama, Na moksho nabhate prushte patale nacha bhutale. Moksho hi cheto vimuktam samyak jnanam vipoditam. He says, hey Rama, moksha is not anywhere else. It is the tranquility of the mind alone. Nirmalatva of the mind is moksha. There's a beautiful story to talk about this, that nirmalatva, stainless, pure, serene, tranquil mind. Once a king, he was fond of the Bhagavad Gita, the classic picture what we know, where you have Arjuna kneeling down, he has thrown down his bow arrow, and the Lord Krishna standing in front of him, you have the chariot behind him. That state of despair, that particular photograph he wanted in his palace. He had constructed a new wing in his palace, a huge hall. So there were two walls, and what he says was, he tells his ministers, get me the best of the two artists in the entire country. Okay, now you do your selection process. I want them to be here in the palace for 6 months continuously and paint the picture of that Bhagavad Gita. So many the artists were called, and eventually 2 persons were selected, and they were told, you will get a handsome sum, whoever gets the first prize. But both of you will be given 6 months time. You will have to paint on either of the walls, both the walls, and 6 months you are not going to go anywhere. Every comfort of yours will be taken care, the palace itself. So fine. Now those 2 selected uh, artists come now. Now what happens? It was one passage, and the 2 walls are there. So in the middle they create a partition, and so that each one is doing their own job. After 6 months, the king says, I'm going to come and see the portrait, and whoever is the best picture, I will award him with a prize. They start their work. Now one artist, very focused, he goes on painting picture what was given. The same picture is given to both of them. This is what exactly we want over here. Now the other person is doing the wall. He wants that kind of a proper surface so that he can paint well. Fair enough. So now the competition has started. 1 month over, 2 months over, 3 months over, 4 months over, 5 months over. The mantri is coming every week and is taking a progress report. That the person on the other side is only rubbing the wall. Mantri is telling him, you have got just at the end of 1 month, he comes and says, you have got only 5 months left. When are you going to start painting? After 2 months, he says, only 4 months are left. After 3 months, he says, only half the time is left. He says, no, don't worry. I don't need much time. I'll do it. Now on this month, first on the right hand side, where picture was drawn, everybody comes. The Lord, I have never seen Mahabharata depicted on these lines. Full of gloss, full of color, full of details, and here and there that 3D effect. All that is so very well seen. Now in between they have put a curtain. Now they put the partition, they have put a curtain. So the king doesn't have to walk all around. So now once that is, then comes this and the curtain. Actually, there is the king, no sooner he looks at this wall, he sees there is nothing, plain wall. And when they push the curtain, immediately the of the picture on the other side, more vibrant on this wall, which was polished so well. So this person, he just went on polishing his wall. That's it. And that polished, stainless, nirmala, that wall was able to capture the picture which was on the other side. So it's in the same manner. Our mind, we have the Atman right there. God is right there within us, but we are not able to see Him because our mind is all the nonsense. This is what every scripture is talking about. Cleanse your mind, cleanse your mind, cleanse your mind. And that can happen only and only when you are constantly thinking God. Either you think of Him, or you chant His name, or you listen to His stories, listen to His glories, listen to His Vani. So this way, one has to be associated with mind and see. And just like the curtain was aside, and that Lord within, He reflected, same way, one has the ability to feel the presence of God within. Now, this is also said in Shloka 20, in Shloka 15 of the 15th chapter. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtaha matta smritirjnanamohanancha vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyaha vedanta kridveda videha chaham. Yes, I am who is seated in the heart of all creatures. I am the inner controller. These are the words of the Lord. And it is me who is the source of your memory, of your knowledge, and of your logical thinking. So again, I am the only object worth. Clearly says, through the Vedas, I am alone the father of Vedanta, and I am alone the knower of the Vedas too. In Upanishads it said, Swasharire swayam jyotihi swaswarupam sarvasakshinam. He is the Sakshi in each one of us, says the Upanishad. Practically, this is the strength of the thing of the. So now, Yoga Vashista, he also in his book, Yoga Vashista book, he says, problems are not there. You see it in the mind. Is it the case? Problems are actually not there. You see it in the mind. He says, no. It is the mind which sees it, and therefore problems are there. See how they have twisted the words over here. It is the mind which sees it, and therefore problems are. Normally, see, more than 2/3 of our thoughts are fears, anxieties, worries, which never happen, but the mind sees it. And it poses in front of you as a problem, and it tries to show that I am taking care, so much load I have got. See how I am managing all these things. It tries to show this the that for the problems. So one a sadhu in Uttarakhand, he says, "Shant man mein bhala sansar kaun dekha hai?" It is because my mind is disturbed, I see sansar, means I see this horrific world. My mind is disturbed. Make your mind. So actual problems, if you see, don't you see different people dealing with uh, problems differently? Sometimes what problem you have is nothing. There is somebody who is at a much higher level in terms of that problem, but that person is able to handle it so well. Some people are terminally ill. Like in a year, they may be for more than 8-9 months in a hospital. Every now and then they are going, they are coming, they are going and coming. See how gracefully accept things. Now they have trained their mind. They don't get agitated. But another person, he has rarely got sick, gets admitted, and so Yoga Vashista says, reject the mind. I am not you, you are not mine. Na manaste kadachana. Unless and until you kick that mind of yours, na manaste kadachana, you are never mine and I am not you. Lost. Mind will then. So, what we should understand is wave belongs to the ocean. Have waves in the ocean? They belong to the ocean, and never the ocean belongs to the wave. Beyond this, there is something. Water is the ultimate. There you are saying, I am. So I am that Satchidananda here. I am neither the mind, I am neither. And what we need to understand in our life and hook along. Now we'll focus on some conditions of the mind, so that now we want to train our mind. So we are trying to take some guidance. What is this mind? What are the stages how this mind can improve? If at all I start working on it, and then I know at least, okay, I am at this particular stage. So various schools of philosophy, they talk about 5 states. Chiptamana, distracted, agitated mind. So means here the mind is restless, agitated, and always distracted. It jumps from one thought to another thought without any. This is this lowest stage, stage 1, Chipta. Then another stage is Moodha, dull, stupefied. Where it is always inert, clouded, and in a haze. So now this is characterized by ignorance, laziness, and confusion. This is the second state. Now one may have one or more, or I wouldn't say all, because as you go, you progress, you will not have all. In the lower grade, yes, you may have all of them. Now third one is Vikshipta. Now see, slight improvement. Vikshipta means partially focused or distracted, meaning the mind oscillates between one distraction and then again it's concentrated for some time, and then again it goes out of focus. So it can focus for very short periods, but it can easily be pulled by the external stimuli. So now you are able to understand verse 24, what he was saying. External stimuli is there of the world. The senses, they catch hold of that stimuli and they trigger your mind. So cover the mind, cover. As it's saying, cover me from all sides, because I have these enemies. My senses are my enemies. So this is it partially. Now one stage higher. Ekagra. One point. Mind is focused on one single point or object. Now this state is conducive for meditation, and now this is where we should ourselves now. One is Niruddha. Niruddha is the where you are controlled, fully restrained. The mind is, and is a state of complete stillness, calmness, serenity. So you can say now at the highest level of meditation and self-realization, you can find this. Now, do these look like something which is beyond one's reach or ability? No. Today I am going to teach you rather two techniques. and I'll give you a data. So now you can practice them, and you will see that you will reach this fifth state for some time at least. It's all how you are able to hold it for long. Okay, now you have lifted a weight. Okay, you don't have strength. The coach will count 1, 2, 3. You will put it down. He says you have to hold up till 10. At 2 or 3 itself, you put it down because you don't have strength. But now, once you start practicing daily, what happens is, then from 3 you go to 4, then 4 you go to 5, and over a period of time you are able to hold up to 10. And you say, now increase. I'm ready. I'm still able to hold. So this, by using this technique, this is all about how you practice, how dedicated you are. That will, in terms of your, otherwise there is nothing that, okay, stage 1 to stage 5 you will reach in so much time. It cannot be guaranteed. If you are really hardworking, then this can happen in a few months. Otherwise, even decades will also not make. Okay, now these are the 5 states as per the philosophy. Now we will understand as per the Raja Yoga, the Patanjali Raja Yoga. So he talks about the 3 stages. As we know, there are 8 steps: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. After these 5 stages, which are preparatory stages, then comes the Dharana, Dhyana. Now, although these are from different schools, both of these will make sense. Now you understand. Okay. Now, what is this now? Basically, deepening of meditative absorption. You're enhancing your concentration, inner stillness, and spiritual progress. Now, this is what we want to achieve. Dharana is that initial stage where a practitioner like us, he will focus his mind on a single object or a point of concentration. Now, what could be that object or point of concentration? It could be a mantra or a visual object, or it could even be his breath, prana. Okay, now as we say, in that square you have the deity's photo. Lord Shiva is there in the square, or we are chanting the mantra. So in this way, he has chosen some focal point and he focuses on the point. Now this duration of dharana can depend on the individual's ability to maintain sustained attention. So initially you may not be able to do much, but as you practice, it will slowly start progressing. Once you are there, able to focus on a particular point or a mantra or a focal point, then comes the dhyana. First one is dharana. With the dhyana, you get where your concentration on that one point, it deepens of towards that chosen object of meditation. And more so, it is a combination of this dharana. Now, eventually it turns into dhyana, where on that selected chosen object, you involve in that state of absorption, where the practitioner experiences a sense of unification with the object of meditation. So, the transition from dharana to dhyana, it occurs naturally as the mind is completely now absorbed that object of meditation, and it doesn't have a clear boundary in terms of time. It is more of a, by practice, as you intensify your practice, you are in that state of. I'll give a simile to make you understand this. Third comes Samadhi, more of an existential status. Initially, you were putting all your effort and you're focusing on the chosen focal point, and then you relax and you become that focal point, you get absorbed, and after that you have dropped. So this is the highest state of meditation. It is meditation, but it is the highest. So now this practitioner experiences a profound state of unity. That is the purpose, please understand. And oneness with the object of meditation, or what we are focusing on, the universal. So in such a state of deep realization and transcendence, now I'll come to this word transcendence. You have to transcend from where you are, from your common Chetana Shakti. You have to transcend to the Chaitanya. That state of unification. So now the duration of that entry into Samadhi, or how long you are going to be there, there is no specific time based period or a rating in terms of achievement. You will sometimes initially go for a few seconds and then again come out and again go, again come out, and gradually you will be seeing that the quantum of. So this way, now we got to understand types of techniques to control the mind. Okay, I will talk of one more concept, TRIPUTI. Now if you have to reach this state, you have to have a solid background of the academic aspect. Now, what is our understanding? Our understanding is that we are not this awareness which we are experiencing in this body, but we are that super consciousness which is reflecting on this body. Stage 1, from the body you move to this awareness within the body. Stage 1. Stage 2, you move from this awareness, which is a reflection, to the all pervading. Okay, these are the two stages. Let's think of the first stage. I have to come to the state of awareness. Now, how am I dealing my life with? I am TRIPUTI. TRIPUTI means three. It is like a stool has got three legs. Okay, now what are the various legs? Jnata, Jneya and Jnana. Everywhere, in every act of yours, you will be seeing where you are now gaining some knowledge here. Okay, you are the knower. You are gaining knowledge. Now, Jneya is what is known. That is the object. Now, you as a knower is a subject. What you are learning, Shastra, is the object which you are perceiving now, which you are gaining. Now, Jnana is the means or the process of knowledge, where you are listening, understanding, all this is a process. So, this is one TRIPUTI where you are neither the knower, nor the known, nor the. Okay, we'll take another example or another process. Karta, doer. So, you are performing action, doer. Now, what is the action? Karma, that action which is being performed. Let's say you're taking a bath. Who is taking a bath? You are taking the bath, doer. What action you are doing? You are the action of bathing. Okay, that action is being performed. Now for this, there is a karana, there is an instrument or a tool which is used to perform that action. So that is water. So without water, can you have a bath? Now let's say we don't have any water, and I go into the washroom and I come out saying I had my bath. So without a karana, the TRIPUTI is not formed. Or without the karta, without you, the TRIPUTI is not formed. Or without the action by itself. Let's say you are there and the water is there, but you are not into action. You are just standing in front of the shower or in front of the bucket. Will the action, the bathing, be completed? No. So, karta, karana and karana. Karta, karma and karana. So, all three are required, and it happens in every action of ours. in every knowledge of ours. All these things. Next, bhokta, who is enjoying or suffering. Okay. Normally, bhoga, we connote it as saying he is enjoying, but bhoga is suffering also. Both come under bhoga. Bhokta is the one who is experiencing or enjoying suffering. Bhogya is that object that is experienced, and bhoga is the process of that entire experience. So, relate to every activity. Then pramata, one who knows or perceives. Prameya, there is an object which he is trying to understand. Now I am the knower, okay, I am perceiving. I am trying to read this book. So, this is the object. And pramana means the source through which I am gaining this knowledge. I am seeing it with my eyes. That's the pramana. So now what our aim should be in life is, you should be out of this tripod, TRIPUTI. How? The moment you are out of this, you are out of the bandhana. As far as you are a jnata or a karta or a bhokta or a pramata, you are subject to papa and punya, your daily life. Naham karta is simply meaning you are saying I am not the doer. Naham karta, naham jnata, naham bhokta, naham pramata. This is the meaning of that. I am not the doer, O Lord. I know you are the doer. This body, mind, senses, conglomerate, it belongs to you. I am very clear. Earlier I didn't know. I thought I was the doer. But now I am clear. So, we are telling by words and by our feelings that I am not the doer. The Lord in me. See? Now what technique use over here? If I want to raise my mind, now this is very important, please understand. I want to raise my mind from the TRIPUTI. Now you are listening, okay? Now you don't want to be a part of any of these things. What you have to do? You have to lift your mind. How do you lift your mind? But please don't lift your mind now. Don't attempt now. Get the knowledge and then you can start lifting your mind. Okay. Now I'll show you one a 3D picture and then I will explain. Now can you see this pic? There is nothing, right, what you can understand. Now, if you focus on this picture clearly, intensely, you will be able to see Shirdi Sai Baba sitting over there in front of you. See, you must have seen many such kind of pictures where there is a horse or there is an Om or there is Tirupati Balaji or there is Krishna or there is a lion, you know. Several pictures are there. Was anybody able to get this? Focus, just focus on it. You can go to a fancy store and get a picture and practice this. Then what I am telling you will make lot of sense. This is one very simple and easy technique for us to lift the mind. I didn't get any reply so far. Okay, now I'll continue. See, when my eyes are completely focused on this picture, I go so much into intense focusing, and at that point I'm able to see the 3D picture, 3D statue in this picture. Now what exactly happened over here? This is the most important crux of what I'm trying to tell you. You are watching. Now mind has got a capability to watch and to also think. Constantly, when you're watching something, you're able to think something. But now, by this practice, this watching is going so intense. When the watching becomes intense, thinking dies off. When the watching becomes intense, or it goes to a extreme level, the thinking automatically dies. Mind is only watch. So when you watch with intensity, the mind loses power of thinking. It loses its power of distracting. It loses its ability to conquer you. So by using your eyes, the perception, what did you do over here? You were able to curb that most important aspect of the mind, which is the thought, thinking process. Right? Now we go to the next. When you're doing this sadhana of dhyana, when you're doing that, what happens there is you need to intensely think on the trinetra point, where you're looking at that consciousness over there. You're feeling that consciousness. You're observing that consciousness to a large extent, so intensely that your mind at that point completely stops thinking. You're focusing on this focal point, feeling, experiencing, and completely absorbed over there. So then your mind, right? Your intention of focus. First you try with these pictures. Get a couple of them, half a dozen of them, and start looking at the picture and focus on the picture. You will be able to see initially to get the picture was taking maybe 20 seconds, half a minute or 1 minute, but thereafter the moment you look at it, you will get the picture. Same way, you start focusing on the Trinetra point. You are observing the consciousness over there, the consciousness reflecting on your mind, and that reflected consciousness as the Chetana Shakti constantly running through your entire. So this is transcendence, crossing your mind and being established in that Chaitanya. Now another technique to achieve this is where you are practicing mindfulness. Now what is mindfulness? These are all different techniques to get the hang of this. Looking at that picture and with that increased focus of attention, the thinking power of the mind drops down because you're only watching. Okay, that is one aspect. Now, whatever job you're doing, apply the same principle. Go with mindfulness. It could be anything. You could be having your meal. It could be you could be writing something, or you could be talking to somebody, or you could be doing your regular chores, your cooking or your bathing, whatever you're doing. Now you're doing it mindfully, a high intense level. What is mindfulness? It simply means mindfulness simply means maintaining present focused awareness, PFA, present focused awareness during all activities of your daily life, right from a formal meditation to casual moments. Casual moments, you're chatting with somebody. Now, what is happening? PFA, present focused awareness. Be completely focused on what you're doing. Now what happens? Now it's cultivation, meaning doing on these lines allows recognizing an interconnection on a moment to moment basis. You are moving from one moment to another moment. Now here you are cultivating, recognizing this interconnection. Now from one moment I went to the next moment, and then I went to the next moment. So this the conscientious observation without any reaction, or this is awareness. Got it? Now what did you do? See, the same thing, that conscientious observation of that particular kriya, that work. What did you do now? You are so intensely in observation that your mind does not have any possibility to judge or to even think. So focused. Now you are eating something. Okay, so there is something on your plate and you can focus on what you are eating, all the perceptions. Okay, constantly over there on what you are doing, the action, then immediately the mind does not have a chance to think. So this will bring your mind under control. Not an easy thing, but at the same time it's not a difficult thing. You have to pray for grace, the Lord's grace, and start practicing. Don't say I'm going to do for half an hour, 1 hour, 10 seconds. Initially I am doing something, 10 seconds I will see that I am going to observe a moment to moment level of awareness with that conscientious observation where I see that there is no thought, so hence there is no reaction. Or this is the second understanding of how to get to that state. I'll tell you one more. Now this is again as per the Shastras. We all have experience. Okay, now when you're listening, it's an experience. When you're eating, it's an experience. When you take a nice walk, it's an experience. So that is known as anubhava, experience. There is also something known as smriti. Smriti is memory. Okay. Now, what is this adhyatmic journey? They say adhyatma sadhana has to be an anubhava and not a smriti. You should not be remembering and feeling the Chaitanya Shakti in you. It should be a casual anubhava, naturally happening within you. Now I'll just explain. Okay. Now say both of them are never together. Okay, Smriti and Anubhava are never together. I'll explain to you how. When you remember something, okay, I immediately say someone you dearly love, remember him or her. You closed your eyes, or with your eyes open, you suddenly thought of that person. I said, yes, I remembered him. Now, when you remember something, you are not experiencing, correct? And the opposite also happens. When you are experiencing something, you are not remembering it. As I said, both don't go together. Now, say, and now this is a pen. Now I am showing you the pen. So I am saying, are you seeing this pen? Or you are remembering this pen? So obviously I am seeing this pen. Okay. Now I say, close your eyes and visualize this pen, what you just now saw. Then I am asking you, are you seeing the pen or you are remembering the pen? I am remembering. Now open your eyes. Now this is the difference between Anubhava and the. So this Advaita Vedanta, this godly knowledge, Atma Gnana, has to become an Anubhava, an experience in us, and it should not be. You should not be telling your mind and trying to do it. It should be complete cessation of all thought, cessation of all mind, and it has to become an experience. Whatever you are doing. Initially, I told you try for 10 seconds, then slowly 15, then go to 20, then go to 30 seconds, and go to close to a minute. Slowly, you will see that you will not come out of it. Consciousness cannot be perceived with your senses or mind. We know this now. How do I get anubhava? See, these are all the challenges. Now, unless and until you have read, you have understood, you have practiced, and you get stuck, then what happens? That's where they say you need a guru who will be able to, because you cannot connect all the dots. So when you understand all this and you start practicing, then you say, how do I get anubhava? My senses, my mind, nothing is supporting me over here to get that, because it is very clearly said that consciousness cannot be understood with your mind or with your senses. Now, how to get this experience? One simple technique again. This is another technique which we are talking about. You must have seen in pujas, they do this, but, but, 3 times they do this. Okay. Now, patient time now already. Okay. Now, what are these 3 fat which happens over here? You, with this Vedantic knowledge, you are seeing something is the first fat over here. All the objects which are, all the perceptions which you are seeing, no, sorry, the objects which you are seeing outside, you convert them into perceptions. Now, I saw a beautiful tree. Now, that image of the tree is a perception now. Okay. Now, second part. That perception, you convert it into mind. And the third part, what is there? You have to convert that mind into consciousness. So, eventually what you are doing? The first part, sthola into sukshma, second is sukshma into karana, and the third one, karana into consciousness. Now, this how you have to do? Your mind. Everything which you are perceiving in the world, you are connecting it to consciousness. See, these are different techniques of achieving what we want to achieve. If you see, all 3 are different paths. And not that you have to choose only one. Do all 3. Because each one has got its own merit. Whenever you see a person, now let's say that person is holding you, okay, object, he's an object into perception. I saw him, so I converted him into a perception. Now that perception I converted into my mind. Yes, this was a visual I saw of that person, my mind. Now that mind is enlightened by the consciousness. I converted my mind to consciousness. Now you got busy in this process, you will not even react to that person. Now when your 100% mind is there on what he said, you will try to give. What did you do here? You engaged your mind in something. And what you're doing, you're constantly connecting it to that consciousness. These are these full techniques. Understand this properly. But Krishna. Take a little more time today, maybe more, so that we can complete our dhyana in there. All right? Yeah. So what we'll do is whoever finds it difficult, you all can move according to your convenience. Okay, we'll try to complete. Whoever is interested, I don't want to deprive them, as it is the class started 15 minutes late. Let's do it properly. Comfortably. Anulom Vilom. Let's do the Bhramari Pranayam. Now we'll be doing the first 3 rows of 12 each Amrityunjay mantra. Post a picture in the square, or you want to focus on mantra, and or you want to focus on Chaitanya Shakti, purely your choice. Now this attempt is to transcend. We are letting go all what we are stuck to by giving the affirmation to the mind that I am neither the owner of these sense organ action, or I am maintaining or sustaining of ignorance of claim. Now doing this, now you rise your point, you're rising your mind, you're coming back and saying this is not mine. This, as I said, na manaste kadachana. This mind does not belong to me, and I don't want you. Same way, na protram kadachana, na tvaka kadachana, na chakshu kadachana. You don't belong, and I don't want you. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Varukamiyo Mukshiyamamritat. Right the back. and lying. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukam Vandanan Mrityormuksh. Start with the Trambakam Pushtivardanam Urvarukam Vandanan Mrityormuksh. Amrita Stotram. Hears capacity to hear does not belong to me. It belongs to the Almighty Paramatma. All that the ears can hear, sounds, present voices, by the Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukam Vandanan Mrityormukshimamrit Vak Samarpaya. Not belong. All that is able to perceive, hot, cold, coarse, all by the during the day. Whenever I hear something or I experience sense of touch, I experience Amahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukam Bandana Yormukshiyamamritat Chakshuhu Samarpaya. His eyes and its power to it belongs to all that the eyes, darkness, colors, person. So during, as I say, Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukamiv Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamritat Jikhva Samarpayami. The tongue taste belongs to the creator Prakriti. Everything that this tongue is able to taste, sweet, bitter, spicy, pungent, sour, hot, cold, all these perceptions are happening in consciousness, by the conscious. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamritat Granam Samarpaya. And power to Prakriti. All the perceptions of smell, tongue, eyes, ears, of these sense organs, and the sense of hearing, sensing, tasting, all ignorance, thing that Buddhism, all are bandhana, mrityurmukshiyamamritat, vaksama, power of speech. body is a words, holding, singing. ये सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् आरुक्योर्मुक्षीयमामृत पानीयम् power to belongs to the creator, are able to writing. Your wit. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Arukame Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat Padyam of the leg. Okay. Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat Upastha Samar titles productive not belong functions of the Jana are happening. Why? Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukame Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat Vayuhu function belongs all the action the organs power of sustain. I the clear witness Varukame Bandhanan Mrityormukshiyamamritat Pranam Samarpaya Prana Shakti and its Pranapa all the excavating all the waste material from the body, and thirst from time, digesting, relating nutrients from this food, supplying them to various parts of the proportion. त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकं वन्दना योर्मुक्षीयमामृतम् बुद्धि अहं all the thoughts, emotions, feelings of the mind, all the decisions taken by the intellect, all the recalling of memory from time to time of go function. I am assured with all the functions happening, creator of this universe created this, endowed it with a body, senses, mind, prana, cult of this jiva has always thought that it's different from it, attracted towards the world with the mind and senses all the time. With this ajnana, ignorance, came desire, kama, and from desire came karma, and from act came papa. Now to exhaust this papa and punya, this jiva in ignorance, moving from one body to another, from one yoni to another yoni, from one species, circulating from millions, experiencing horrific and stress, anxiety, fear, worry. Now this jiva has been endowed by Paramatma a very special grace through Ishvara, Shastra and the Guru has been light of driven away the and has completely crushed the feeling of aham bhava, ahankara and mamakara. By who has realized that everything is created, sustained and maintained by the creator of ego, illusion. Surrendered the clear understanding Brahma Satya, O Brahma, Supreme, world and Brahma, Om Purnam Purnasya Purnama Shanti Shanti. Together, offer to seek your grace.